Hello, welcome to the One I Have Spare Time podcast. My name is Frank. I'll be sitting here talking to you for a few minutes. As usual, I'm wearing clothes. YouTube sent me an email or a message, whatever, and YouTube suggested I should do a deep dive into my Joan of Arc song. And I found it ridiculous, but I'm like, I have nothing else to do. I should do it. And they said I should explain my chord, do a behind the scenes explanation of how you chose your chord progression. so, um, first of all, this song is a punk song. I'll play the first half first, and you're not missing out. That's why I'm not focusing on my hands. It's very simple. In my head, it's supposed like in the band anyway. It's just me on guitar and a drummer. I'm singing lead, the drummer singing backup. So it's just two musical instruments, okay? And the point of the guitar is it's supposed to be the bass part and the guitar part because I'm really a bass player that plays guitar. But the song is a lyric focused song, so the music is very repetitive. Okay, so in my head, if there's a bass player, I'm just singing over the bass, and then the guitar doesn't come in till later. So, but it would start out like this. I wanna talk to swords like Joan of Arc. Get burned at the stake cause I love campfires. Stare a bunch of English kids cause I hear voices from a sky daddy. Okay, so that's the opening. It's just a G flat to D flat. And that's like the opening, okay? It's just those two notes. And then the verse starts with G flat. I wanna talk to swords like Joan of Arc, D flat. Scare a bunch of English kids, cause I'm sorry. I'll do it over. I wanna talk to swords like Joan of Arc. Get burned at the stake, cause I love campfires. And then we go to E flat. Scare a bunch of English kids, cause I hear voices from then go to B. Sky Daddy. So the opening would just be bass. It'd be then D flat, E flat, then B. See, it's very simple. It's nothing complicated. You're just going. Okay, and then when the guitar would come in, would be the next verse, or I call it the pre-chorus, but so it would go like this. I wanna talk to swords like Joan of Arc. Get burned at the stake cause I love campfires. Scare a bunch of English kids cause I hear voices from a sky daddy. I wanna run outside and not have to complain about all the bullshit that comes down like rain. I wanna walk outside and not have to hide from the covers of magazines. Okay, so it's the same notes. It's just now the guitar has come in, because it'd be really boring if it was just bass the whole time. So it's kind of the mixed up a little bit. But if the band had a bass player, it'd have been the first verse would have just been all bass. Then the second verse, the guitar would have come in, and so then it goes to the pre-chorus, where the pre-chorus is it sounds like this. Run to me, this is make believe because real life is just too much of me, and yell to me the things I need need to see because the truth is just too much for me. Okay, so the notes are, and it's pretty easy. The tonic chord is G flat, meaning it's what I'm singing in, and so I could play anything in that key musically, and it's gonna sound like it's on key because I'm singing in G flat, and so I'm just doing like a G flat scale on the guitar. But anyway, the notes for that are G flat, D flat, then go back to G flat, then go to E flat, then go back to G flat, then go to B. So it's just so the verse was G flat, D flat, E flat, B. So the pre-chorus is going to be G flat, D flat, G flat, E flat, G flat, B, G flat, D flat. I know it's so complicated. Run to me, this is make believe because real life is just too much of me, and yell to me the things I need to see because the truth is just too much for me. Okay, so you can see it's very easy. And now for the chorus, it's going to be G flat to D flat twice. Okay, and so the chorus is okay. I'm gonna play the pre-chorus and then go into the chorus. Run to me, this is make believe because real life is just too much of me, and yell to me the things I need to see because the truth is just too much for me. I just want someone, anyone who thinks it's not that bad, waking up next to me. That was it. And it was just want someone, anyone who thinks it's not that bad, waking up next to me. It's just G flat and D flat twice. It's pretty simple. I mean, I don't know how I can do a deep dive into it. Anyway, then after all the lyrics, I've said everything once. You then got to reset. So I just go G flat to D flat, G flat to E flat, and then I want, and they just start over. I don't know why YouTube thought this would be a crazy thing to do, but anyway, um, so and I have it all right here. So you know the opening G to D, then the first verse, then the pre-chorus, then the chorus, and then you reset. And then when you reset, you just start all over. But you start over at the first verse, obviously. Okay. And then the lyrics are pretty obvious. I want to talk to swords like Joan of Arc. I mean, that's kind of how she got her start. Now, the reason why I like Joan of Arc is when I was a psych major and we were talking about schizophrenia, uh, our teacher was saying Joan of Arc is probably the first well known documentation of schizophrenia because you know she heard a sword talk to her, then that's a sign of schizophrenia, or she's a liar, or she's a megalomaniac, or she's delusional. Either way, but the my professor was like, this is you know a if you just take her at her word, this is the first documentation or well known documentation of a schizophrenic, and because you know obviously we didn't have a mental health industry back then, you know, people believed it, and obviously the times are different where you know religion had a lot more, or Christianity had a lot more sway, the church had a lot more power. So if someone was like, you know, God is speaking through me, people would you know believe it. So, I just thought it would be kind of cool to have a song about her. But anyway, so I want to talk to swords like Joan of Arc, get burned at the stake because I love campfires. Obviously, Joan of Arc got burned at the stake for heresy. So I just thought it'd be funny to write, get burned at the stake because I love campfires. And then scare a bunch of English kids because I hear voices from a sky daddy. Now, she led French armies against English armies and their French allies. So that's just what it is. She scared a bunch of English kids because she heard voices from a sky daddy. There were a few times where the English army would turn around just because Joan of Arc said God's on her side. So that's pretty self-explanatory. Because I hear voices from a sky daddy. Now that is actually making fun of my ex-girlfriend. The song kind of went from Joan of Arc to making fun of my ex girlfriend, which is weird. But I had an ex girlfriend who her name was Allie, and she was all about fake pseudo religion and human beings were ancient astronauts that came from Mars, but they didn't take spaceships. It's like they teleported psychopathically, weird shit. And one in one ear, out the other. And then anyway, she was like looking at my reaction to her talking, and she's like, "Oh, you just think I'm talking about a sky daddy, something like that." Um, and then okay, I keep going. I want to run outside and not have to complain about all the bullshit that comes down like rain. That's just me complaining about society, because if you're a person who's self-aware, when you go outside, there's a lot of stuff to complain about. Next line. I want to walk outside and not have to hide from the covers of magazines. That's just more of like, you just want to go outside and live your life. You don't want to have to like, you know, compare yourself. I mean, I don't have this problem, but I don't want to have to deal with like someone talking about, oh, did you see so and so on a magazine cover? Oh, did you hear about so and so? Did you see so and so's Instagram? So it's just like I want to go outside and not have to like conceal myself, so I don't have to hear about the bullshit. So that's what that is. And then the next line, run to me. This is make believe because real life is just too much to me. And yell at me the things I need to see because the truth is just too much for me. That was me talking about Joan of Arc because she you know she's commanding armies whatever, but she's like she's a leader, so like run to me. But this is really make believe because like I don't think God was really talking to her. So I was just like, if Joan of Arc was honest, she would say, "Run to me. This is make believe. Meaning, follow me, even though I don't believe that God really talked to me. Just this is make believe, because real life is too much. I mean, I just figured life was tough back then. So the reason why she had a talking sword is because it was just her way of escapism. And then I go and yell to me the things I need to see because the truth is too much for me. And this is just she needs someone to just to tell her the truth. Like, no, you're not. This sword is just a sword. God's not talking to you. That's all. And obviously, the truth is too much for her because she's living in a fantasy world where a sword is talking to her. Now, the next, the chorus part. I just want anyone who thinks it's not that bad, waking up next to me. That line is making fun of my ex girlfriend. Actually, uh, she was at the time she was reading this book, and it was like the beginning of woke and 20 billion made up genders, but it just wasn't as pop culture yet. And so she was talking about there's no such thing as sexuality. It's like people are like 10% this and 30% that, and I'm like, what? And so she was saying something like, I'm like 60%, I like guys, but then 40%, I'm like, okay. And so in my mind, I was like, you know what, you just want, like you're just desperate, and like you just want anyone who'll like wake up next to you. Like that's what I said in my head. And this is after she's like, yeah, I find this thing attractive. Like she she took a long-winded way of saying she just doesn't want to be alone. So she'll date anything. Man, woman, you know, dog, whatever. So I was just like, so that line is making fun of her. I just want anyone who thinks it's not that bad, waking up next to me. So it's a weird song. It's kind of about Joan of Arc, but at the same time, it's making fun of my girlfriend. And it was just, I like Joan of Arc, and so I was just sitting in my room thinking about Joan of Arc, and at the same time I was thinking about my ex-girlfriend because like I was thinking about a crazy person because like Joan of Arc to me is crazy, and then I thought my ex-girlfriend was crazy. So like those two thoughts kind of cross stream. So the song just came out. The song took like 5 minutes to write, including the music. It was very easy to write, and so I just was like writing it down, and I didn't have to edit it. That's pretty much exactly how the song came out the first time. I think. Oh no, the first time I said, I'm gonna talk to swords like Joan of Arc. You burn the sticks. I love campfires. Scare a bunch of French kids because I hear voices from a sky daddy. I later changed it to scare a bunch of English kids because I hear voices from a sky daddy. That's the only thing that changed or got edited in the song. But other than that, that is exactly how I wrote it within the first 5 minutes. So, and the song is called Joan of Arc. Okay, and I really can't do that much more of a deep dive. So, YouTube, I did what you wanted. I don't know if this means this video is gonna get a lot of views. Probably not. But I'm gonna start doing that. If YouTube gave me like a bunch of suggestions of videos I'm supposed to make, so this is the first one that that was on the list. So I'll do more. Anyway, you guys have a good one. I'll talk to you later. Peace.